I was approached by a friend who asked if I could repair the wiring in her 40-year-old doll's house. The house had some interior issues too, so I suggested that I redecorated. She agreed, and I set to work. Here I'm removing all the bits and pieces from the house, the interior doors, all the architrave around the doors, just ready for removing the wallpaper. Spritzing the walls with water helps remove the wallpaper. I'm also using a very blunt scraper so that I don't nick or damage the walls in the process. Normally the wiring would go up through the ceiling and then be covered by the flooring. Because I wanted to keep the original wood floor, I had to make false ceilings to cover the exposed wires from the light fitting out to the rear of the house. Here I'm just dry fitting the ceilings just to make sure that everything fits okay. This was a mixture of fine filler and acrylic paint to colour, and I used different techniques to make it look like Artex ceiling. Here I'm threading the wires through the ceiling. Um, I also, before I glued the ceilings down, tested that all the lights did work, just in case any wires had been damaged in the process. So this is the original front door. I didn't want to change anything about it other than the doorknobs had discoloured slightly. So I'm using an artist's masking fluid around the doorknob and the knocker so that I don't get the gilding wax on the paint. So I've now started thinking about putting wallpapers in. Um, Here I'm making a template for the staircase, um, and I'm just going around measuring each wall with just copy paper, and then I'm transferring those templates onto the actual wallpaper. So here I'm just lightly sanding all the architraves for the door frames, um, and preparing the doors for painting. I'm just using an acrylic paint. So here I'm just trimming the wallpaper away from window frames and tidying those up. And here I'm adding some like false tiling to the kitchen. And here I'm just adding the curtain poles. I've kept all the original curtains that my friend had made. So the house before didn't have any skirting or coving or anything, so I thought just to really finish it off it would be nice to add coving and skirting. Can you spot the mouse hole? So the wallpaper on the outside of the house was slightly damaged, so to cover that I made some climbing roses from jute twine and some scatter material and some tiny roses I had in my stash. So here I'm using various different colours of scatter material mixed with a watery PVA. When that was dry, I then went over the whole roof with a matte Mod Podge